What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy SteezyASmith in the building, and today we're here to talk about the one team that must sign Earl Thomas. But before we get into that, here's the intro. What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy SteezyASmith in the building. Team Steezy, good evening. Another beautiful night here in the Pacific Northwest. Before we get into it, please, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button for me. It really helps out the whole team, helps us to push out a lot more content. Don't forget to leave a like, drop a comment. This really helps us to push out more content. So please, if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. As y'all can see, we're rocking the new Team Squeezy merch just in. If you guys want to cop yourself some merch, please follow us on Instagram at SteezyASmith. Once again, follow us on Instagram at SteezyASmith, and you'll find the link to our merchandise. Team Steezy hoodie that just came in not too long ago as well. So if you guys like what you see, please show us some love. Follow the Instagram page, and you'll find the link that you need. So Earl Thomas was released 5 days ago after an on-the-field incident during practice with his fellow teammate and fellow safety Chuck Clark. He got into an altercation, and he supposedly posted a video on Instagram, which was later deleted. And after a day or so of contemplating, the Baltimore Ravens released him. And I remember waking up to the news, and I was in complete shock. But the more that I thought about it, I started to look at the fact that the Baltimore Ravens are a first-class organization, and they don't take any BS whatsoever from any player, no matter the caliber, no matter how good the player is. And so, essentially, what happened in this situation was Chuck Clark, a very well-respected veteran and teammate in the locker room, was disrespected. And when the whole incident occurred, everybody was on Chuck Clark's side. And so poor Earl Thomas was released, and now he's currently looking for a job. I think that last season, looking back at the season that he was still, quite honestly, a top 10 safety in football. He was still one of the upper echelon safeties in the game. He was a Pro Bowler. He had a few picks. He still showed signs of his old self. And so now that he's looking for work, there's sure to be a whole lot of teams looking to sign him, looking to sign still one of the better safeties in football. And I think that the one team that should sign him is not necessarily the Dallas Cowboys, but I think another team in Texas where he's from, the Houston Texans. We look at the offseason that they've had. Bill O'Brien has made a whole bunch of tumultuous, disastrous moves. He traded away one of the best receivers in football, if not the best receiver in football, in DeAndre Hopkins, for a package that involves a running back who had his best year 4 years ago and a second-round draft pick. Now, you look at other situations around the league, the Minnesota Vikings traded Stephon Diggs, a receiver that's not necessarily on DeAndre Hopkins' level, for a first-round pick, a fourth-round pick, a fifth-round pick, and I think it was a sixth-round pick or a seventh-round pick, one of the two. And so you look at the package that Houston got in exchange for DeAndre Hopkins, and it was obviously very, very alarming, and essentially it was highway robbery. The Arizona Cardinals got away with the best player in the deal, and with that in mind, I think that Bill O'Brien is still on a mission to prove to people that he made the right decision in that trade. And I think that one way he could justify it is by signing, still, like I mentioned earlier, one of the better safeties in football in Earl Thomas. The fan base is obviously angling for his oust, and I think that by bringing in Earl Thomas, they have a need in the secondary for Earl Thomas. Right now, their secondary consists of Gary Conley, and I think Justin Reed, who showed signs of promise last year, but opposite him is Jalen Watkins, who's still very unproven. Because they have $22 million in cap space remaining, they have plenty of money for Earl Thomas's services if he so desires. I think that he's going to be looking for a contract somewhere in the range of $10 million, maybe $10 million plus. Bring in Earl Thomas, you bring in a top 10 safety to help complement one of the better quarterbacks and one of the best quarterbacks in football in Deshaun Watson, and they have a chance to compete in the AFC. You combine those factors together, and Houston is the perfect fit for him. They have cap space, and they have the need. Dallas, San Fran, Tampa Bay, if some of these other rumored teams aren't able to sign, or Philadelphia even aren't able to sign Earl Thomas, that Houston should swoop in, sign Earl Thomas, and help to justify the disastrous offseason that Bill O'Brien has had here in Houston. To recap, the best fit for Earl Thomas and the one team that must sign, or ET, is the Houston Texans. Let me know in the comments below, are the Houston Texans the right fit for Earl Thomas? If not, what other teams do you guys have in mind? If not already, once again, please show us some love, show Team Steezy some love, hit the subscribe button, drop a like, drop a comment, share this with all your friends, your dog, your family, everybody who might be interested in sports. That's it for today's episode, folks, and Steezy out.